So if anybody that hasn't lived under a rock knows that a while ago AMD decided we're going to open source all of our drivers for Linux, or well, I think drivers period. And so basically that opened them up to a bunch of like improved performance things, and it might have been a Valve thing, but it might also be a contributing factor as to why the Steam Deck uses AMD graphics. And then everyone, of course, knows that soon after, NVIDIA decided, you know what, we're going to open source our modules too. So that was big news for a lot of people. It's still kind of early in it. They released their first, driver release under the open source model, so there's still a lot coming through, and there's a lot of support being added. Whether it increases the update cycle or the release cycle of NVIDIA drivers is another thing to be seen. But anybody that has an NVIDIA card and runs like any Arch type distro knows that all you have to do is like basically go and the package you're looking for is NVIDIA Open or NVIDIA Open DKMS for the open source ones. But I'm not installing that. What's interesting is apparently AMD has open sourced the code for another one of their features, the FSR feature, which I believe the Steam Deck heavily uses as well. So it's no longer closed anymore. Let's see what MIT license. So it's under the MIT license, so you can basically take it and do what you want with it and repurpose it that way. So it explains everything here. And again, like I said, I believe they rely heavily on this for the Steam Deck. And maybe this also means that some of these features, if there aren't any equivalents on NVIDIA, get ported over to the NVIDIA drivers with that. Because MIT, well, whatever. Have it, yeah. But yeah, so it seems like AMD and NVIDIA are going through this whole open source war back and forth. NVIDIA has had a couple different things that they've done that are open source on some of their projects. Otherwise, what was it? Industries, I don't remember which page I was looking at, but they have a bunch of projects that they do with like AI and whatnot, or developer stuff. So you've got research, NVIDIA research. That's it. So you've got a bunch of things that they're researching with their hardware, and that takes a lot of open source stuff and probably mostly runs on Linux as well. So open sourcing their drivers and whatnot, you see I'm not even going through all the topics, but the reason why I appreciated AMD doing that thing is because not only does it open up the drivers a bit more, but it means that they have they have the backing of the community, and they can improve their development that way, because there are a lot of smart people in the Linux community that can add to these projects, and sometimes these developers don't appreciate that literally free labor that they get from it. And now that they've open sourced the modules, the drivers and whatnot, they are able to take advantage of that work that people will put in for free just to get their own hardware working with a system that they want to use, and that can also go back and improve the Windows experience for other people as well. So now they're not quite discounting that community contribution, and Valve has been using this for the last little while with Proton and things like that. You've got the Glorious Eggroll fork of Proton, and I'm sure Valve gets things pushed up to them that they can implement into Proton, and then Valve pushes other things upstream to Wine and these other projects, and it just really works out. So as we may see NVIDIA come back and open source another thing, hopefully, and, you know, we'll look out for that. If you feel like discussing it, you can join one of the chat places in below or add a comment and feed the algorithm, and I will see you guys later.